Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations with your girl Dom. And listen, this is such an iconic moment because I didn't know we said it on the last episode because Herb was here last week and we talked about the White Lotus. And we were like, oh, let's do a review, for sinners or whatever. We know we're gonna see it. So we both went and saw it last night. And Herb texted me as I'm walking. I'm like, oh, I'm already on my way. So we had to come back right away and give y'all the just the tea about the movie, the greatness about the movie. So everybody, welcome back to the show, Herb Donaldson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Look, back to back.
I
Thank
know,
you.
back to back. We drinking this. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but back to back. Um, I don't
So
even know
what
where
did you
to
think?
start.
I don't wanna go into the
Listen,
100% thing is cool, but what did you think about the movie just as a
okay, so I have friends that saw this movie 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And everybody pretty much said the same thing that Ryan Coogler is in his bag. Ryan Coogler has something. Michael B. Jordan was in his bag acting. You see an expansion of him, and he had to be stretched because you're playing twins.
Yeah.
And so we hear mixed reviews about Michael B. Jordan's acting, and I've never felt like he was lackluster for me. I don't know, it could be lustful thoughts, but I enjoy Michael B. Jordan all the time. I You remember how you said last week that the finale of White Lotus was almost too good?
Yeah.
I almost felt like it was too good in a good way.
Yeah.
And
Even look, no spoilers. Even like the post credits. I was like, oh,
listen,
like
listen.
it's
Oh, this is
good, man.
all about spoilers here. So
Oh
if you
yeah.
haven't seen
Okay, well
it,
then
y'all
yeah.
gotta
All
get
right.
out. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta get out because we're getting in and we're gonna get into the business. Okay. Listen, iconic. Definitely see why it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the first time we get to experience Ryan Coogler in an original film. Everything else, has been though great, but an adaptation.
Yeah.
Fruitvale, Black Panther, Creed. This is his.
And did you hear that he owns his like the entire IP on this?
Oh, this will make sense. This is the way. Listen,
Ooh.
I this here. So, oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna say this. The funny thing is that I this morning I had a call with my homegirl, um, who shared with me that this was supposed to actually be kind of like this insurrection that happens and these slaves are vampires and they take over, but then it was like how would they sell this? And so
Hmm.
because she sent me the article because she used to work for Lorel or whatever. And so she's like, oh, I found the data. I was like, oh, this would be perfect. So it was Ryan Coogler, Shaka King, Charles King from Macro, Lil Rel Howard team on American political insurrection film. And this was back in July of 2021. And it was supposed to be that they were teaming up on an original feature film about American political insurrection. Other plot details are being kept under wraps. So it's interesting to kind of hear that if this, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
this is the same exact film that you're telling me about and telling me the ins and outs of this. And then it spins into this. And, I was like, that's crazy to learn that information, right? I am I think honestly, I'm still reveling in how good this movie is. I woke up. I was so excited last night walking out the theater. We had the post movie conversation about everything. And then getting on social media, seeing everybody's reaction to it. I saw your post. Uh, I did mine where I'm like, yo, it is so much that happens here
Hmm.
that's so dope. Because I'm thinking about it from the full gaze of story, lighting, film, soundtrack. Everything was a 10 out of 10. And I feel like you're not meeting me here. And
Look,
I
I want to temper people's expectations. I don't want to. It was the best thing ever, but it was very, very good. I want people to exactly how. Even though you're the host, this is your show. I want you to tell me how much you liked it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody else by
no, you
making them
don't
think
know this,
it's
but this is
so
why
great.
we're having, but this is
Yeah.
why it's important to have these sort of dialogues, right?
Mhm.
Because everybody isn't going to enjoy everything. Everything ain't going to be
Yeah.
100 for everybody.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, I think the rollout of this was definitely something we had not seen in a long time. I say that in my story. I told my guy last night, I said, we haven't seen a rollout where it is in your face, where it kind of forces you to see what it's really about. Because think about that first trailer where it's not really clear about what this film is going to be about. Is it zombies? Is it vampires? Is it some other entity that's happening?
That's my one hole,
Okay.
which was good, but I would love backstory on my man. The
Okay.
chop chop, all of that. That's the only thing that like, and they give you enough to for you to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I would love to like for them to develop something because that I'm like I feel like that story could be really great. Like
So, okay, so let's get into it. So, on top of like I said, the marketing, the rollout, and I felt like it was this major blockbuster. Like, think about Mission Impossible, like the first one,
Mhm.
how that was back in the day, or what other big feature film you get Batman, all these other
Yeah.
movies where it, because the rollout for action movies sometimes like be so crazy, and you just like,
And
okay,
see, I don't. Do you know the budget for this? Because that's what I don't know.
okay, let's Google it real quick.
I ain't being lazy. It's just that I'm on
No,
my
no, no,
phone,
no,
so
no.
I can't Google it. No, this for
No, no,
everybody
no, no.
listening. That's all.
Yeah, no, no, no. That's a fair question. 90 million. So
Okay.
this weekend, they said the film is saying it had reported a budget of around 100 to 105 million. Some reports indicate it was initially greenlit for 80 million, but incurred overages, which were covered by the director out of his own pocket to break even. The film was expected to gross around 260 to 300 million dollars at the box office globally. Um, and I would say that like the rollout, the junket, because they have been in
Hmm.
every. I mean, y'all in
Yeah.
Mexico, y'all in France, y'all doing all of this stuff. Y'all got like, I mean, it is heavy, and it's funny because normally when we see these press junkets, it's kind of like the main 4 or 5 people, but for the most part, everywhere they went, almost everybody
Yeah.
that was a part of this film that had some sort of line or whatever was involved. You know,
And that's one thing
in the
too.
rollout.
Like you said, like he's though those previous films have all been good, but they kind of been the Rocky franchise,
Yeah.
the Marvel franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He got some very good actors in this movie that like ain't from Rocky. Ain't you know what I'm saying? He's not because you could just fall into and we can just make this about Sylvester Stallone and it'll do what it do. No, this is all original. I love Delroy Lindo. Like it was good, man. It was
It
really,
was
really
good.
good. Yeah, it was like I said, I just don't want to have people on 10 and then it's a 9 and they like, Herb, you lied. But it's very fucking good.
It was
It's very
very
good.
good. I would say that I don't know where we should start. Okay, let's just fucking start at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and So we because this one low key, I would say I liked how it wasn't like the pacing was right.
Mhm.
It wasn't all this fighting back and forth. You get that.
Oh, and that's a great thing that a lot of people gonna skip over. But knowing that, from the beginning, since we in the spoilers, he go into the church on this date, and we say a day earlier. So the pacing and knowing that the shit is about to hit the fan inside of 24 hours, it gives you a bit of tension where when it starts to happen, it is gonna fucking happen. Because
Yeah,
all of this happens within them 24 hours.
yeah.
So
I think
you ready, you ready, like win. And then now we up.
yes, and I think that's one of the things that I enjoyed the most. Like it didn't feel rushed, and
Nope.
honestly, and we'll go back to it when we talk about pacing. Could there have been an extra scene? Would you have done something a little different as we go along? So, like you said, a day earlier, we're at the church with the cousin. Clearly he's been engulfed in a crazy battle. And you have his father, who's played by Saul Williams. Saul Williams never ages, by the way. He don't look the same since he been saying poems on girlfriends. Okay.
Man.
Um, and it's like, this coming to Jesus moment, like the Lord wants you, like, you know, have your soul restored, surrender. And then it goes back, like you said, a day
Yeah.
earlier, and then we have insert Michael B. Jordan's character
Smoking
coming,
stack.
yes, Smoke and Stack coming back to town. You learn that they have been away for 7 years in Chicago doing nigga shit. Everybody, okay, so what is it about the Chicago water? Because niggas be nigging in Chicago. It's something
Well,
in the water.
that was kind of the you think of the time frame, 30s, Capone.
Yeah,
What was a bigger city close to the South than Chicago?
Chicago.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And then that's gets kind of mentioned
yeah,
Capone, like if
some
they,
gangster
they was,
shit. Yeah,
yeah, like was y'all rolling with them? Like what was happening? How y'all end up back here? So everybody, but then that these guys really are about everything that they get into. Like they and I'm not gonna say they were terrors, how the brothers were terrors in Tyler Perry's movie where they threw their body in the back of the truck. But it was like they kind of ran that town, and so you
yeah.
had a level of fear that was kind of instilled in you.
Look, he had to shoot that boy because I can't even let nobody think that he could get off with that.
I
So I
let
got to shoot him.
yeah, it's like off of GP.
I
Like so,
got to.
I got to. So you soon learn that they bought, an old barn, big barn. They want to turn it into a juke joint. Um, and they want to have this grand opening. And mind you, the brother with some sense is like, let's push it back.
Yeah,
Because
don't
who was
rush
that?
it. That
And
was a
that was
smoke. Yeah,
that was
yeah.
yeah, Smoke. It was like, hey, we running behind schedule. Let's just do it next week. And Stack is kind of the more fun. And when you see twins, a lot of times it's one that's a little more always kind
Yeah.
of silly, lighthearted.
It's a
That might
Tia and a Tamara every
yeah,
time.
it's a
Like
Tia
it really
Tamara.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, no, we can do it, tonight we can do da 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 da. But out the gate, as they buy that you see the deal happening, and you see the underlining racial tension that's there. They're buying this building from this white man. He's like, hey, your clan people, cross that line, we fucking them up, and that's just what it is because this our shit. We pay for it, and that'll come back later. But
Mhm.
they go into town, like you said, with all their stuff. They get somebody trying to rob Smoke, and he shoot him, but then he see some of his old friends, and they're, hey, we having this grand opening tonight. We need fish. We got the liquor, and bring everybody. So they're trying to recruit oh, And we'll be right back. And we're back. And so, you know, they're linking with people. They go to the Asian homies. Hey, we need this fish. We need this much grease. You know, they find Delroy Lindo. He's like the best harmonica player, blues singer in town. They got his cut. They
Now
get
that's what's funny is that, like you said, they these terrorists and everybody know their name and they got a reputation, but everybody worked with them. We gonna
everybody
get the
working
fish
with him
from here. We gonna get the sign from there. We gonna get the. We already got our liquor, but the dude that sold them, like I said, they got their reputation, but everybody was helping work the plan. So
because that money was talking.
green,
Green. It's like cash money. Ching ching.
right?
I am here. But you know, I and then when you insert Delroy Lindo's character, and then his cousin. Oh, you know what? Let me pull up the list. So we have Sammy, who was the cousin.
Mhm.
You know,
Preacher
grew up.
boy.
Yeah, the preacher boy grew up in the church. Like I said, daddy is Saul Williams, and
Can I get into the symbolism early? I know we got a
yeah,
ways to go.
let's get into it. I'm here for this. Say your piece, baby.
So before you even get to the crust that the everything that's gonna happen, I felt like the ending and him, doing his music. I was talking to my boy about this. Everybody, what you think about the movie? I saw the symbolism is, and even in the whole theater of him being like this gifted musician that could bring all these people together, from the future to the past and all of that, is that you had music before you had the religion they gave you. And that's why he turned away from his father. And that white man even told him, he said, I remember those words when he told me that before he took our land. So even in that, you could tell when, the more you watch it, the more you listen to the way he talked. He Irish. They came with their religion and made their religion their religion. And he been killing people and doing whatever he been doing for the longest. And like I said, that symbolism of the
I want your
church, the
music.
music, yeah, like
I
it
want
was
your
it was
music.
like I
I
said,
want
it can
your
get
song.
deep. It's a
You
lot of
know,
onion. It's a lot of onion to peel, but it's like that was a big part of the symbolism for me.
the movie for sure is very black, and I don't want that to get lost
Yeah,
in.
I don't think that it's too black for it to just be a really good movie and not a
Oh
good
no,
black
no,
movie.
exactly. But I
Yeah,
think the way that we connected with it
yeah.
versus the
That
others,
was my biggest point yesterday was
yeah,
that I didn't go see Harriet in the theaters. I didn't go see Till in the theaters. I'm tired of seeing us historically as victims and everything being
yeah,
traumatic. And
yep,
while this is a traumatic movie, we're not victims,
yep.
and it's a good movie. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Color Purple is like some, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of punch to the gut in that.
God is trying to
You know
tell
what I'm
you
saying?
something.
Like
Yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah, no. So I think that was the one of the things that I walked away, from really, really feeling like, damn, I'm like, we have these dope stories. We are so much more than that. Because think about it from
Then
this
victims. That's the thing. Like we always have to be a victim when it's
we always have to be,
historical.
and yeah, absolutely. And I was saying that, even when it comes to genres of movies, and as you know, music, we're supposed to be in these lanes and
Mhm.
understanding and knowing that these originally, like, kind of were our spaces were asked for horror. And this is, I would say this, I wouldn't even say this is full on horror. It has gory moments,
Yeah.
but I would say it's more so um suspense thriller-esque.
Yeah.
But so think about when we have Get Out, when Get Out enters the chat, and how pivotal Get Out was, from Jordan Peele, and the conversation surrounding it. And then, so you remember when it won an Oscar, people were, it wasn't a comedy. it wasn't this. Like
Yeah.
I was more so
It
glad
was a good movie.
it was a good movie, but it
You
was
know?
in the comedic.
Yeah.
That's where they felt like we would have this better chance. And then ultimately, from that debate, it comes out that Jordan Peele says this was actually a documentary. And now everybody's really fucking taken aback about what, wait a fucking second. And then you have Lovecraft enter in the chat and how now we're not only getting black horror again. And I listened to the podcast as I was watching Lovecraft. And so you have the writer, one of the writers, she's in there saying, well, the black experience, this is like our reality. Like black history is black horror. Like we have
Yeah.
experienced so much in this lifetime that's our story, and people don't realize that. So for people to say that we can't explore these spaces and these themes, because now you have Lovecraft also entering magic, you have Afrofuturism that comes into play when we're speaking about Lovecraft. And that's why I was under the impression the entire time that it was always a limited series. They said it was a limited
Yeah.
series. So same thing with Big Little Lies. If something happens, they go back and they can expand the story, great. But I thought what was really iconic about Lovecraft Country is being able to derive this beautiful, crazy story about our realities from a H.P. Lovecraft was like a known racist and bigot. Like,
Mhm.
so for Misha Green to pull that out her ass to create such this iconic story, and we all know that the proposed second season didn't get greenlit because it was called Supremacy, and you go dive more into the Green Book and all those different things, but to see this displayed on screen from an original story is not an adaptation. It's like, hey, yo, Ryan Coogler, you're really in your bag here, and then this is your first run, nigga. What?
Look, that's what somebody my man I was talking to, he said, man, what's my boy they got in trouble that was in Creed? That was like he would have killed it. Yeah.
Jonathan
That was,
Majors?
yeah, that was in Lovecraft. Like I'm like, yeah. If he wouldn't have been Michael B. Jordan, if they would have been brothers, like that would have been good.
Yeah. I It was so much that happens because, like you said, these people are knowing their history, knowing what it was. They still was like, we still fuck with y'all though. Like
Yeah.
you go and pick up cornbread out the fields. It's like I'm behind on
Look,
my quota, and he was like, man, fuck that shit. You finna go get some real money. And the wife was like, let me see. And so you
look.
just get everybody, and it's beautiful to see this sense of community too.
Yeah, no, it's like you know how you know bad people, but they your people. So, so
And so you like, okay, this is just too good to be true. You got all these things happen, and then they find out that how talented their cousin
mhm.
is,
Yeah,
Sam,
look cousin is. Yeah.
and they're like, oh, you about to really make us some money tonight. We're gonna have this good time. It's like our welcome home party. And it go up. It's up because that's the thing. Is like, is though the pacing is still kind of still moves
Hmm.
fast enough where it's like, okay, you don't lose your viewer. It's like, oh, okay, what's next? But then you have Smoke go and meet up with Ruthie. Not Ruthie. I'm sorry. Because Ruthie is the girl that's entertaining Sammy. But you have him, um, go meet up with his former flame, who is Annie, and you learn in a matter of moments she's from Louisiana. She's heavy into
Hmm.
the root work that she created, like this necklace, herbs, all this stuff, probably bones for Smoke to be wearing when they went to Chicago. And she was like, that kept you alive. You also learned that they lost a child. Like, it's so many things that happen, but baby, like I told people, I was like, no, they was for real when they said it was horny because
Yeah.
everybody fucking.
Look, it was crazy. I was trying to my baby is crazy. My baby 10, she say, and we going to see a scary movie on Sunday. I'm like, ah man. She's like, yeah, it's called Sinners. I'm like, ah. And I don't even tell her. I call her mama, like, hey man, it ain't graphic, you don't see no titties, no ass, but it's fucking going down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and the way they talk about it going down is like, nah, not for little baby. Give her a few years, man. Let's
yeah, I
kick
love
this
that.
kid a kid.
See, and I respect that. I appreciate that you being socially responsible as a parent, because our kids always have that conversation about letting kids be kids because society forces
Yeah,
them
they want them to be
quicker
grown and
anyway.
yeah,
So no, no, absolutely not, baby girl. You cannot see it.
yeah,
I mean, and like we have the things like I don't know if it you cover your eyes, but it's just like the
yeah. And
sound.
in a theater, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, the way they talking, my man,
yeah,
he said you gonna make so much money, she might put it in her mouth. Yeah, I don't need my baby to hear that. We straight. We
like
straight.
I said, horny for sure, straight to the point. It's no innuendos, like it's no like
Man,
you is. I mean, it's right there and it's raw and it's real, and which is so funny because you see like how the dynamic is slightly different between the
the
twins.
brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have this, which also I want to say that I thought it was so dope to see a woman that is full figured, curvy, and she
Hmm.
also was in Lovecraft, Woomy, but in that starring role because they tend
Yeah.
to
Make
whitewash.
them a side. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they could be the
the,
somebody else's girlfriend. They can be the main character
the
girlfriend.
main character. So
But that's honestly, that's again, little things people gloss over. That's authentic.
yeah,
That's how your auntie and your mama and your grandmama look.
I mean, we get that, we know that,
Like, I mean,
but
come on now.
but but then on the flip side, when you have Stack, you have his girlfriend being the white woman.
Oh,
Uh,
see, that's the man there. And
and
I
that's
could be lying. I could be lying because I don't know my mama and daddy like that. But if I know he's from Mississippi, but if I'm not mistaken, he's from Clarksdale, and he met my grandmama in Boot Hill in Missouri, and white grandmama, and they legit was on some like again symbolism. They
Mhm.
legit was on some like you not related to us no more. You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to avoid that for her.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and not
yeah,
just with your family, with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Our
yeah,
life is gonna be a living hell because we're not supposed to be together. And again, that's more symbolism. Did they
yeah.
have to go to hell to be together? Is that how bad it is for us?
Look, Haley Steinfeld's character, which is also interesting because in real life, as she is connecting with this character and all these different things and kind of even researching her own genealogy, she figures out, she learns that like a great grandfather of hers was like black. So she's like really reveling in this. And I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, girl, we get it. You done said it a minute times, but like right now, it ain't like you passing. You get your
Yeah.
right and let's keep it moving. But I mean, there's certain features about her, like it's like you could probably I can see
Mhm.
you, you know, maybe passing back in the day if you was full on or whatever. But
Still blows my mind. Quincy Jones, the one that's in the new Black Mirror. She really, if you didn't tell me she was Quincy Jones' daughter, I would just be like, nah, that's she just what?
yeah,
Like,
Rashida.
yeah, I would never like just assume that she was mixed at all. Like,
Yeah, I think how and this is random. So a lot of people just recently found that out that Rashida is Quincy's daughter.
yeah,
And then sometimes black people we forget because she is of
yeah,
like
she be in such like it's never like she's never in black roles. I guess you know what I mean.
yeah, not yeah.
So
Because even how if you watch a little bit of Black AF on Netflix, she
yeah,
still is like, which we're gonna talk one day we'll talk about
I like that show.
his fetish
Yeah,
sism with
but I like that show. I already know where you're going, but I like that show. I do
I
like
didn't,
that.
I couldn't finish it and I just was like, this isn't for me. And that's
Yeah.
okay. But
But you know what? I don't watch any of the other stuff. I support that stuff, but like I'm just Blackish and I've never I'm not like I don't are those like situational family comedies? Like I'm just not into that stuff. Like the college one, I ain't watched none of
yeah,
that
I,
stuff.
I
Like
did get into Grownish.
Yeah,
Uh,
Roguish. I ain't seen
yeah,
none
I
of
did
that.
watch that, and then but it was and like I said, for what it was, easy to watch. Sometimes you need
Mhm.
things that are kind of lighter. So that
Yeah.
was one of my shows. But here, you know, we learned that Mary, who is played by Haley Steinfeld, her mother is passing. She hasn't seen this man in all these years. So there's this level of beef that's there, and but then you learn, like you said, that aspect of forbidden love. Like, I'm doing this to protect you because at the end of the day, they was either gonna kill you or kill me. And I just wanted to play it safe. Uh, which you later she
Which
really,
makes a lot more sense of why it was okay to be gone. Because
hmm
everybody seems to love them and have love for them,
yep,
but they've been gone for whatever reason. It's like boy lost his child, boy can't be with his love. You know what I'm saying? So it
yeah.
just make it easier for that, that migration, and that's kind of part of the things. Again, it's so much symbolism. It's a
So
lot.
it is a lot of symbolism that happens here, and like you said, it's probably stuff we still missed,
Yeah, for
because it was
sure.
so much happening.
Look, I can't wait to rewatch it. I can't wait.
Listen. I'm going to see it in 70 millimeter. Like, there's a small.
I did the IMAX. I did the
I
IMAX,
did
but I'm
IMAX.
yeah.
I did IMAX, but then Universal has it 70
My
millimeter.
bad, Big Cali. We ain't got all that,
No,
Big
no, no, no,
Cali.
no, no. It's not a lot of places that have it. It's not a lot of places that have it. Even out here. But I was gonna say, but then insert, like, this whole situational scene that happens when we were talking about the Native Americans who kept referencing the Choctaw
Yeah,
Indians and all that stuff. And like I said, which goes back to the preview, because you see this shot in the preview, but you really couldn't tell. I was like, wait, is that a
yeah,
white, or is that a light skinned person? What's happening? But you see the steam rolling off of them. And so, which automatically sends you to, oh, that's the fucking vampire. He's trying to get
hmm,
away. And he knock on these people's door, and he's like, like, oh, they trying to get me. They trying to kill me. And then they let him in. He pay him. They let him in, and then you insert the Indians that come in. It's like, yo, if he in your house, you got to get up out of there. You in danger. Like, you gotta go. You gotta flee. And ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody, like, oh no, it's nobody here. Nobody came here. Get off our land or whatever. More racism. But then then you see what happens. Like, you see him attack them and all of that stuff. And to be honest, this is like, okay, like, now we really, it's
yeah. That's when that's when the switch get hit, right then and there.
yeah. And I was like, always white people doing too much. Always doing too much.
It come together. That came together because when he trying to get in, he see the hood, he see the clan guard. So we see it as well. So we know that no matter what the Choctaw plead with them, no. The answer is gonna be no. We helping this white man that's being hurt, and you
Yep.
get what you got.
And that's and
So
that's and that's real. And that's what gets them caught up and messed up. But in that turn, we ended up kind of going into, like, the nightfall. Everybody is coming out, the town is coming out to support Smoking Stacks, new business venture of this juke joint. Um, they got the Irish beer from Chicago, 500 bottles, ice cold. And it's funny because you see the reality of the situation, because you have people kind of playing with, like, tokens and all this different thing,
mhm.
where the other brother, like, Smoke is like, no, this is not how we doing this. We not running this. And they have to have that reality check with him, that talking. It's just like, look,
Mhm.
this ain't Chicago. These niggas barely got a pot to piss in.
Bro, we gonna
Everybody
have
is,
to we gonna have to take some afterpay at the bar, bro. You just
yeah.
gotta understand that.
And that's
Like,
and that's fine, but we're gonna get this. It's gonna jump. And I you have my cousin guarding the door, cornbread, and letting people in, charging them at the door and all these different things. But then you go into, like you said, this musical experience that happens where, like you said,
That's
past,
something that I think you gotta see. Yeah, that ain't. We can
I
try to
gotta
explain it, but you
see it.
gotta see that. Yeah,
And I think the interesting part too, because like the people that the family that they buy the fish from is an Asian family. They're like, are they Korean or
yeah. That was like my favorite part. Them having a white only store and a black store right across the street. Like,
yes,
go get your mama. She just walks
like
across,
like we
and
gonna
you
get
see
this
the
money.
whole street go from black to white. It's
Yes. And
crazy.
I thought that was dope too. And then I was like, they's like, oh, no matter what, we service everybody, we gonna get this bag. This all
Yeah.
because then even in that, like you visually have to see this because as the Sammy is performing, you kind of see this like this, it transcends the room. And so you
Yeah.
have ancestors coming in, you have
That's it's a journey in time
yeah, a
through
journey
music and dance. Like it
through
is, like I
music.
said, but you gotta see it. I can't
You,
put my words won't draw it.
but it also reminds you of how everything just kind of derives from our people.
I
And
wouldn't even say that. I'm not gonna disagree with you, but there's Asian song and dance, there's Native
oh yes,
American song
but
and dance.
it's
Now they did focus on, it was the B-boys, it looked like Boosie Collins, you know what I'm saying? But
yes,
there was different people doing different things, but music is what brought them together.
yes. And but also, so what I mean from that, like a lot of things derive. Okay, let's just be walk with
Yeah.
it. Whether you believe in the creation or you believe in the evolution, it all starts in Africa. So everything comes from that continent. So that's what I
Mhm.
was saying. Like when you think of it, because even like when you so think about pyramids for example, the Maya was in like Machu Picchu and
Mhm.
other places where they discover stuff and they realize that all of that is derivative of what was happening when before the continental divide. So like there was something that was taken everywhere. So I mean from that standpoint, but like you said, past, present, future, in the music, and it was just such a dope moment to see how they weave that together, but also like you said, including Asian culture. You're
Mhm.
seeing geishas dancing and all these different things. And my guy was like, I really could have did like I ain't necessarily have to have. I said, but what is important here is that is actually the reality. And I don't think that people really realize how immersed and how Asian culture really is around. Like if you watch, did you watch Black Cake on Hulu?
Mhm.
So same thing. They was down there in Jamaica. So it's
Yeah, but you
all
know what? Again, it brings all that together,
mm-hmm.
and at the same time, that's actually the match that lights the fuse. Because that's when my boy is like, I could hear it from, what he said, we came from North Carolina, whatever the lie he said, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then when he see him, I came for you. Like
Yep.
you was who I came for.
I came from you. And so here is where we have the chaos that kind of starts to
Yeah.
erupt here at the nightclub. Because now you have now it's three vampires that come and they want to come to the juke joint, and cornbread is like, hey, it's some white folks at the door. Like pretty much, hey, what we doing? And everybody is super, super apprehensive, and everybody, and especially because of
And
these
you
two.
know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Crazy. They were so scared of letting white people in. They didn't fathom for a moment that they could be some vampires that was about to kill everybody. That's how apprehensive they were to no. He said,
Yeah,
what if he step on your shoe? What if you look at his girl for too long? No, not that they monsters ain't gonna kill everybody,
yep,
but they are monsters and can get everybody killed.
yep. And but that's say it. Say it one more time.
It's
They are
crazy.
monsters that can get everybody killed. And like we said, the symbolism, the underlining tones that live there. And then it's like, well, why is she in there? And that's
Exactly.
like she family, which always low key comes back to bite people in their ass. It's
Hmm.
all because there's always something. And then what happens? It comes back to
Yeah.
bite them in the ass because now you pressed for some reason to go out and investigate these people. Again, Karen, mind your fucking business. Like, mind your business. Like, but I'll say this. I was hoping Loki out the gate, she was one of them when he saw her at the train station. Because
Hmm.
I was like, nah, she wasn't, because she would have needed like a bigger hat, gloves, all this
Yeah.
stuff to be able to move about. But that I low key thought would have been kind of iconic had she been one of them to kind of begin with. Like, because that would have been a nice plot twist. But
Hmm.
because of her wanting to be inquisitive, you want to be nosy. Who are y'all? What y'all going? Because y'all can play music. Y'all want to
Well,
jam with
I'm gonna give her a little more, a longer leash than you, simply
you.
because she was going out there for the bread. She said, "I'm gonna go see if they really trying to spend some money because y'all need the money, right?" And they was like, "Yeah." That's when she went outside because she was doing it for her man's pockets. Did she not
But
need to
but
do it? Yeah.
also, okay. So, but let's be clear here. Your man didn't want you there. He wanted you to go home, and you keep doing
Nah,
all of this
it
stuff.
was he was
He
faking.
wanted it,
Now,
but he
now
didn't.
the brother did not want that, but boy was like
Both
he was
of
letting it
them,
smoke.
but more so Smoke than Stack.
Yeah,
But because which is why Sammy was like, "Hey,
but
like
look, and everybody was happy to see her though. You know what I'm saying? Besides, it was just though it was really just the big bro. Little bro was acting, and look,
man, I ain't
little
fucking."
Sammy was acting, but the other baby mama was happy. The Asian people was happy. Cornbread was happy. Everybody was happy to see me. Everybody,
And that always gets y'all in trouble.
you know.
Centuries on, and y'all still ain't learned the lesson. But that's not what we're here for today. Because that's not your problem, and that's not our problem. But it's just crazy because like she come back and low key, uh, you gonna let me in, and so then that's where you kind of see,
Yeah,
oh, this is what the deal is. They
yeah.
got to be welcomed in order to attack their prey. And ultimately she come at Stack real hard, and like we said, horny, and they going at like the way she spat in this nigga mouth, like, and I again we'll say that for another day because you get those modes, but I was like, this don't look like good spit, like it looked thick and like slime, and I was like, that's not the sexy spit, like
But
it's
that's why I don't know. That's why man got to know something wrong because that's what when she got dude just like ugh,
was
I can't wait to bite your ass.
right. And I think it's so much happens, and then it's just crazy because then Sammy is sent to go get uh Stack because
Yeah,
it's like nigga shit happening at the dice game. You got people cheating,
yeah.
all of this stuff. And so he's like, oh no, never mind, my bad, my bad. But then the brother's like, hey, I told you. And they go back and then you see everything that's happening. And they, oh my God. And then it was like, okay, we here. We live. It's going fucking down. And the crazy part about it is like, we all see, we know what's coming
Yeah.
with Zach. And they lock him in the room. They sent everybody away. And then the only person when like Annie says aloud, she said, we can't have them people out there. Like we need to keep them here, and like we need to stay
Hmm.
till sunrise. But now it's too late.
And look, they got everybody. Ain't nobody making it to that car. It was rough.
And then you have the Asian girl, Grace. Grace and her husband Bo to the
Go get the car.
to go get the car. He get got. It's just so much. And my cousin get got. You go pee. It's always a nigga that goes to the bathroom. Don't you always think about all the scares. Always somebody that like, oh, I gotta go do it myself. It's always, and then you get got. But man, but that scene and like all the chaos because the ringleader, uh, the ringleader. Okay, his
Dude
name
ain't
is
even get a name, did he?
okay. It's apparently Remick.
Yeah, he did say Remick, and it was Bert
Yeah,
and the girl. Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So, um, I don't know, like this action scene is just so epic because like now it's like they're trying to get have them come in and like you said because now
You
uh
know what? It's got to be something stupid for everything to get rolling always.
it
But
is.
that was pretty realistic because she didn't want them going to get her daughter.
Yeah,
Like that was very realistic. Like we
yeah.
just gonna thug it out right here, right now. Let's get to it.
And I think and that's what I was like I was because she was so with the shit. She was like, "Okay, we're ready to roll."
Yeah.
'Cause, like now, you had Annie, explaining to them what has to be done in order to kill them. Like we need garlic. You need wood, like steak, wooden
Mhm.
stakes. You need. I mean, we know normally. I'm surprised they say nothing about silver bullets, but
But see, when he hit dude with the guitar, the silver like had him cooking.
yeah, the
So
silver had them
yeah.
cooking.
But they
And
look, I just don't think they had no silver. So
yeah, yeah. At this point, y'all shoot niggas with garlic. Like,
man.
no bullets. We got garlic, in a hefty amount. But I think it was so dope just seeing how everything transpired because Annie was like, "Let's blow this shit up." She put a rag in the liquor,
Yeah.
corn liquor.
She was with all of it.
Yeah,
Like,
she's like, "Come in, motherfuckers," because y'all like she did. But then I was like, "Damn, Annie, you low key kind of selfish because now your daughter not gonna have neither one of her parents." But
yeah.
that's here or there. That's me though. That's me though. That's my trauma speaking. Um, but they hear it and they come running. They, got the door open. They just like, shit, we gotta fight it. We gotta do this. And they holding their own. You see them really holding their own. But the crazy part about Annie is you see her go and kill the husband, and like, and she on fire. I was like, damn, Annie, like you was just not Annie. What was her name? Grace. I'm like, you were like really with the smoke, you with the shit, and was just like,
She was not just talking.
yeah, she was
She was
like,
not.
"Fuck it, like if this what we gotta do, and whatnot, but like you said, then you go back to Annie talking to Smoke and saying, hey, if something
Yeah.
happened to me when she was rolling the dice and
Get me up out of here. Yeah.
yeah, she like just kill me. Like you gotta kill me. I don't want to be none of this shit. We're gonna see you, we'll see you on the other side type shit. Which was really like this sweet because you really kind of understand too, like the love stories that are here. And it's not, which is, it's not, it doesn't come across to any other marketing. And I saw a tweet where somebody said, leave it to Ryan Coogler to sell us like this vampire story, but he really telling this black love story. And I was like, yeah, I mean, but nigga, Delroy Lindo.
Look, I wish he would have got a few of them now. You know what I'm saying? He didn't gave up so they could go upstairs. But I'm like, man, you gotta stab, fight somebody, pitch a
It,
bitch.
but also, I want to, which was icon. He was because you don't forget. He also said, "Shit, I got more years behind me than I got
Yeah,
left." So
yeah. And he
whatever
said
happened,
if anything happened in here, y'all, they gotta go through me. He said that.
yeah.
So
So he was already, like his senses were going off. But I want to, like you said, like I feel like we haven't spent enough time on Sammy where it is.
he wilding. He naming his band after somebody he didn't ate that thing. That's crazy. Like that was like the funniest part to me at the end. I'm like, that boy to name his man after this lady. This lady
Listen,
that was cheating on her husband with a little boy. Wild living.
because I was like, okay, I'll have my hearing aids in, but I know what I heard, and I knew I was like, did this bitch just say it? I mean, at least she had a little excitement before she went out, you
Man.
know. But I just, it was Sammy was like you said, such an interesting character because we know ultimately a lot of this is simply because of
His gift,
his
his
gift.
talent.
Is yes,
And you know
and
what's crazy? The song he sings answers the, you know what I'm saying, when his daddy's calling him to, you
uh-huh.
know, uh, it like I said, it's a lot of symbolism, it's a lot of foreshadowing. It was like it just so fucking good, man. It was.
It was so good, and I think that also the funny thing about Sammy's character is uh, how parallel it is to like a lot of people that grow up in those environments that want to experience something different. Like, or I think of this Christmas
Mhm.
where
They don't want the boy to sing.
I don't want the boy to sing. You didn't have the daddy left to pursue music,
Mhm.
and then you had the other son. He was like he left to pursue
To
music.
do the music, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like all these things happen. Music makes people leave, and it's like this thing that's controlled, and which also is one of the things we talk about in music, just in general. You know how people, depending on that message and how it can make you feel or whatever. We talk about notes and different things and keys of, like a lot of the top 40 hits on the chart have like a certain beat per measure that registers with us to make us kind of like connect with that song. So his story is interesting. Like I said, like I would like I am walking with you where maybe it was just like what could we have gotten a little more about that relationship?
Hmm.
Because like for me, it's like were you like kind of like a non-believer based on your choice at the end, which like like we have the flash forward to 92 and
Well,
um
just doing the time,
yeah.
1932.
Mm-hmm.
All you know is what's in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw something that can take him outside of that plantation that he said he didn't want to stay on.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be a sharecropper and a preacher the rest of his life. He seen his daddy do it, and he decided that that wasn't for him. I don't think it say his age, but you know that he's, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
20,
saying?
yeah.
You could
Yeah.
tell that.
Oh
But
yeah, because they say, oh, is he old enough to
yeah,
drink? I
yeah,
mean,
they like you even old
drink.
enough to drink. So, like I said, it's back then it what you couldn't look at your phone and see what they doing in Inglewood and New Jersey and
Yeah.
Chicago. So you
Yeah.
had to go do that on your own. And it don't look like his father did much traveling, and his, what I'm saying, he didn't have much experiences outside of Clarksdale, Mississippi,
Yeah.
and he wanted more. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. No,
uh,
for sure.
maybe he just saw his music was his ticket to more. So
Um, which ultimately it was, but I want
yeah,
to circle back to the whole battle scene because then you see the twins battling it out because now you have um, you know, Stack
Saxton got bit, and he with
he
all
got
this
he
shit.
big,
So
he a vampire. He trying to, convince everybody because like he ends up, flying out and all this stuff. And you really it's crazy because it was like he still, how you see how whatever was in that pouch that was on him
yeah,
still protected Smoke, even in this, this person trying to kill him. But it was almost like he couldn't kill the other brother though. Like he couldn't
yeah,
kill Stack. It was like something there where it was like, okay, I know you my brother, but you not my brother. Like this is something else. And then ultimately we see the the real like fight that's happening between the vampire, the white vampire, and Sammy, and what everything that he's saying to him, like, I want your soul, like I want your money, like I want your music, I want this, I want that. I'm here for you, and you can live and do this for an eternity. So it's like it really is the devil really
Mhm.
coming out and trying to get him. He really came running to this little boy trying to get him, and his daddy told him about that. So you have this full circle moment, and then fortunately, um, Smoke came out and got him from behind, and now we have the sun coming up because the thing that you worried about is like if y'all get inside, y'all can really
Mhm.
reign
See you
terror.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it'll be a never ending story. So from there, like you said, it flashes back to the beginning, which is you see the full dialogue that happens between him and his father, but then it goes back to something that the vampire said to Smoke, and he was saying the clan are gonna come and get y'all.
Yeah, he said
Like,
it was all built on the line.
yeah, it was
Like
everything.
they was coming to fuck y'all up no matter
Yeah,
what.
no matter what. And so we see Smoke really kind of step into his own. He go in the, go in the trunk. He get them guns. As Shinky said, we got them guns. And really shake shit up because it ain't just a few of them.
Yeah, they was deep.
It's a clan of them.
Look, no hoods, just vibes. They was out there. They came in their pickups ready to rock.
Ready to rock, like, hey, this door, like, y'all, like, we can't get in here, this lock, check the front. And then he just start going to town on them, which is like, you see, like, after all of that you just went through last night, nigga, you still got another battle to fight.
Crazy.
Crazy. So such a crazy moment, and then you have that beautiful moment where, I mean, Smoke does get hit, once, but then he's starting to, kind of fade a little bit, and he sees Annie and his baby, she's breastfeeding the baby in the afterlife. And she's like, come on, you can hold the baby and all this stuff. But then the other guy that he hadn't fully killed, I was like, man, this motherfucker better kill this motherfucker.
Lit his ass up real quick and then
I
got up out of there.
know. You got a cigarette. And like go and end up going to town on him, but then he makes it to the other side. So that was, I think that was one of like just crazy like that was a beautiful moment. But we talk about, like I said, lighting, story, like soundtrack behind everything, and this movie was just so dope, and I'm okay with the way it ended. um I was talking to my homeboy Tristan about it, and he was like, I could have did without the post, like the mid credit.
Mhm.
And I was like, no, I was like, because I was like, I get how you got there, but you,
You didn't have to, but
it gives us a
like
level
it
of
wasn't
coverage.
necessary. Yeah, it wasn't necessary, but it just was it was like, do you want to supersize it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, shit, go ahead.
But also it added another layer to the story that we didn't get, because don't forget, we see them struggling, and
Hmm.
that's it. And then you just see Smoke come from behind and get old dude with the stake. So it gives us a little closure to understand what really happened in that moment, because we don't see anything with,
Yeah, you didn't see him die.
you didn't see him die, you didn't see what happened with, the girlfriend.
But see, you know what's crazy?
Okay,
Because he Stack killed Annie, right?
he had to. No. Yeah, Stack had to, remember, because she said she got bit.
No, no, no. You talking about Smoke. I'm saying his brother is the one that killed her. He bit her.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did. I think
Yeah,
he
like that's my brother, but I might gotta kill his ass. I don't know, man. Yeah.
did. She already knew what her fate was. he
Sounds
knew what
like
her
it.
fate was going
Yeah.
to be, and it's just it sucked,
Because
but
when it happened, he was like, "Not you." You know, she was like, "Not you." When the
yeah,
brother did this shit.
yeah. So so it gave us a level of closure because we get to see Sammy live to he doesn't stay at the church, he doesn't give up the guitar, he gets heavy into his music, and they come and pay him for a visit, and the same thing, they was like, welcome in or go right on in or whatever. And then it's like, damn, are they gonna get him now? But then he said, my brother made me promise
Yeah. But that's the
to,
thing. That's the only hole in it for me is like, I just killed your girl, but you will let me live if I promise not to kill the cousin.
but that brotherly love, like he
I ain't
couldn't
got
do.
no brothers. I don't know. Man.
I think if it was your sister and something, you say I don't think
Man.
you would kill your sister. I don't think if that happened, really
If
think about.
they
I
if they
don't think,
ripping people's throats out, they might gotta go. I don't know.
but okay.
I
You'll
don't
never
know.
be in that situation, so we'll never know.
You're right. You are correct.
Yeah, I'm like well, that, baby, but that also speaks to the sentiment of their relationship, but also you see that dynamic where it was you always saw how it was Smoke having to keep Stack out of trouble.
Yeah,
Like
he
I'm
said
supposed
that
to keep him
that's
safe,
it ain't the closure because we don't see him kill him,
right?
but he said you never stop. He was like, I always wanted to protect you. He said you never stop.
Yeah.
So you
So
know, all he that trouble was his own.
so I think he was like, you know what, you already kind of like half dead anyway, gone on, but promise me this, like leave little nigga alone. And so, I mean, it kind of creates space. Could we get a sequel? But also, I'm okay with how it ended. Did you watch the him singing Sammy at the
Yeah.
yeah? So I don't. I just had so much fun. It
Look,
was just
I want the 60-year gap filled and I want a story about Remick. I want it all.
I want it all. Okay, Kendrick.
Because look, how Remick just in the South by himself. He's from Ireland somewhere, getting chased by some Native Americans. Like,
Yeah.
what's I need some gaps filled in for me.
Man, I still, like I said, I just wish that like it was like the rewrite right at dawn. I was hoping, I was like, oh, the Indians gonna come, the Native Americans gonna come
Yeah,
back, and they did it. And I was like,
yeah,
man, that
yeah. Look,
was
but
the one thing I
and
wanted.
even with that, even with those aren't critiques. That's just like I would have liked. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But
I would have
like
liked that. That would have
that's
been
just
fun.
more story for a different time. So
Yeah. And but there was an interesting point made that because Christopher Nolan
mhm.
assisted Ryan Coogler with this and was like his mentor, his, first AD, all of that stuff, like help him bring this together. So my guy was like, I'd be interested if there's going to be a director's cut that'll be much longer.
I would
Uh,
love it. And
he was
that
like,
it was
because
215, but they
yeah,
packed that bitch.
they
They
did,
packed
and I
it.
was like, this Loki, I would have been okay with
Yeah.
an extra 20,
Yeah,
30
245. I
minutes.
think it was 215. I could have took
Yeah, it was
245 for sure.
215.
Yeah,
It was like 215. It felt like that. But like you said, like I said, but the pacing of it was good. So it didn't feel like it dragged, but then they
yeah.
knew because like
And you
sometimes
know what? You didn't say it pacing a few times. It was like I said, and I think it's because you know that this is happening within 24 hours. There was no time where like I could go to the bathroom real quick. There was no,
no,
you know
listen.
what I'm saying? Like I know I could miss this. No.
Yeah. And my dude was like, dang, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, no. But I it was okay. So on top of that, like, like I said, I wonder in a longer cut if it would have been something where maybe we got more of maybe Sammy's backstory or the Indians, or maybe where this guy came from.
Yeah.
Um, where because
See,
just
I
like
feel like I feel like I got enough saying. Like there is not a lot of story to tell, but him being their cousin, the twins' brother being his uncle, you know what I'm saying? And like I got enough of him where I felt full where you just could have gave me more, but I didn't need more with him.
yeah,
I wanted more with the Choctaw, with where Remick came from. Like that's
yeah,
what I wanted more so. But I
yeah,
feel like even though it was abridged, you knew you kind of got why and
Yeah,
where he was coming from, and that's what was important because he not the main character. You know what I'm saying? Even though we talk about him a lot, and he the
yeah.
reason that the
And it's
dude
like
that's
this all
found the
your
juke
fault.
joint. Yeah,
This all your
but
fault. But
it's he's still. I'ma still go to twins is the mains, and then they girls. You know what I'm saying? Dancing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the way I saw it.
also, and maybe there's a flashback that happens to the twins' childhood because we understand that the father is abusive, and then it's like,
Yeah,
Roy, did y'all kill your daddy? Did y'all really kill your daddy? And it
and
was
that's
like,
the thing too is his daddy whooping his ass.
yeah. And he said, well,
You know
did
what I'm
your daddy
saying?
was your daddy putting his hands on you? Are you okay? Like all these different
Yeah,
things. And it was like, nah, it wasn't like that. So clearly, y'all all witnessed something,
yeah.
and it was good though. Like I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I love that we are diving into this space,
Hmm.
and like you, I am also over, in order for us to receive certain things and have access to certain things, it has to come at some sort of cost, like trauma, war,
Yeah.
like loss or whatever, sacrifice, somebody getting abused or whatever. Like, I'm tired of those stories. And it's just like, can we just have, and like you said, it was perfect here because it wasn't too much trauma. We got like a little bit of backstory. Okay,
Yeah.
we don't know what happened, how y'all baby died. But this was something, like you said, the things that they were experiencing ultimately led them to leave, and probably for their mental state. And then you
Hmm.
came back and you was like, you know what, we back, we got this, we gonna turn up. And lo and behold,
One night only.
one night only. Okay, Jennifer Hudson. um, but I I woke up this morning still reveling in the excitement from this movie. And it's been a long time. Like I could leave a movie and I'm just like, like it was cool for what it was, but it wasn't all that. But baby, this was all that in the bag of chips and
Oh,
the
you know what's
surprise.
good? Total sidebar. I don't know the black girl's name, but that movie Opus. Have you seen it?
No, I heard Opus was good.
It is not. It is. I think that's an A24 movie. They just fucking come with it, man.
I
Like
Opus, I think it
Opus was good, man.
it wasn't Opus. Oh, that's what I was like. That's what Io. Yes.
I don't know her name, but the pretty
Yeah,
girl with the
her
big
name's
eyes and the
Io in
big
real
hair.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Io, and she's from the Bear. So,
Okay.
which I need to go back and get into it. And I was just like,
Yeah, that's a goodie. That
yeah,
and another like I said, A24 like kind of makes some of my favorite movies at this point.
okay,
But Civil War was so good that I like was reading articles about why this wasn't receiving bigger fanfare because it was
I went to
so
see
good.
Civil War with
It
Anthony
was
Mackie.
so good. No, 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 no,
No,
not
I
that's
was like,
Avengers. No, this is with my girl from Spider-Man with that
oh
look.
wait. Let's look it. Let me
Look,
see.
and it's as tumultuous as the US
Oh, you
is,
know what? I Johnny, I wanted to see that, and I was
it
like,
is so good. It's on
I was like,
HBO Max. Like I didn't watch that movie about over 10 times. Like it is so good. And it's not the war, it's just everything about and around it. It
okay,
is just how things just it's good.
okay,
And it's from their photographers. So
okay.
that's who
So
you're
what
it
person
is
done?
so good.
Who been
Yeah.
coming? I'm like, what else is
And
person?
that's the thing. Like I was so disappointed. I was like, I didn't see this in theaters. And I've been slacking on my movies. I just got the baby now. We can't just dump her off to go see a
Just
movie
get a
like we want
sound
to.
bar. You get like a 85-inch
Nah,
sound
look,
bar.
I am a movie theater guy. Like I have to
I
like
respect that.
yeah,
This
like I don't
definitely. But here's the thing. This really set the
stand
bring
it
it
for the
back to the
summer.
yeah. I'm like, it really set the tone, and y'all motherfuckers got to come with it. Like y'all got to
Yeah,
come with it because this really, like I said, this made it feel like just the hype around it, the reviews that was coming in.
yeah.
It was really giving like we went to go see Pulp Fiction or
Hmm.
something like that, and the push out, and especially because it's a black film. They always say that we don't have these big box office draws.
Hmm.
We can't have these crazy big opening weekends. And time again, we prove y'all wrong. And at least in this case, uh, I want to know how much they spent on the marketing budget.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Because I
And
mean,
honestly, because like we can say it, is it horror? Is it a thriller? Is it a psychological drama? While they put out that the movie was coming, but they didn't put out a lot about the movie, which was good.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you came to the theater and found out about it. You knew it was twins and the Jim Crow sides and some vampires and some shit was gonna happen.
yep. And that's all we needed to know, because
Yep.
sometimes the trailer tells us so much, but I
Too
was
much, yeah.
too much, and it's like I just saw the movies where we just didn't get enough. Because, like I said, in the
Yeah.
first scene where you stay dropped, it like the guy kind of falls in, he's kind of
Yeah.
sitting
Him
and goes,
sizzling. Yeah.
and I was like, wait, is that person black? Is it not white? But then I remember at the end, and I want to go watch the trailer again, because maybe because we knew that they were twins. At the end, where they see everybody kind of burning up, I swear in the preview it was both of the twins, but apparently not. It was, you know,
My bait and switch.
Oak and,
The
and,
the
and Sammy.
director's cut.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
was,
director's cut you was talking about.
because I'm not tripping, right? I'm not making it. Is this
But
what?
see, even with that, I know, like I said, I'm a movie buff, but you got 24 hours. I know in the preview I see him shooting a machine gun during the day. So when is this gonna happen?
Yep.
So
It was really dope. Because it's like, damn, like this nigga can't catch a break. He's trying to roll the joint and he can't even roll the J. And here these niggas come, and it's just like, man. So it definitely, like I said, it was definitely. Oh my god! If you haven't seen it, or if you're thinking about it, just go see it. And we have to show up and show out all the time. And we always got to work, quadruple as hard as everybody else. And then y'all complain about everything. Well, there's nothing to complain about here. Go
yeah.
and see the movie and enjoy it. It's Easter weekend, like I said in my story. Y'all complaining because eggs are still too expensive and y'all want to dye eggs. And I'm like, well, just the $30, go take it to the movie theater. The movie tickets cost me $50.
But I, I'm a AMC Stubs member, so twenty
You know,
dollars. I see all the movies.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got the monthly pay. Oh, see, and I want to invest in that, but I feel like I don't go to the movies
If
enough.
you go twice, you got your money's worth.
Okay, I'll think
So
about
that's the easy math for whoever out, and especially in Cali. Like y'all's probably more. Mine's is $20. Y'all might be 25, might be
it. Yeah, I
30.
feel like it's 25. It might
Yeah,
be
if
20.
it's 25, two
Yeah,
movies, you already got the what your
yeah.
money worth.
'Cause I
So
definitely just paid $50 to see that in IMAX.
so there we go.
So oh my god, this is just
Now we got us a sponsor. We sponsored by AMC Stubs. So we
sponsored
got
by AMC. I'm like, listen, we're gonna have our own show where we do TV and movie review. Because I mean, even when I'm thinking about, like, I was watching back, our review for White Lotus, like, yo, this was really good, and we was just like going through
yeah.
hitting it. But I I just want to encourage people, and we see it time again, and we'll see posting about it. But if you have a calling to do something, just do it. Like, revel in that. I really think that, like I said, I think it's dope that Ryan graduated film school at 24, 25, you got Fruitvale, and connect with people and put your stuff out there, because you just never know where it will lead you, it will take you. I mean, just do it, because if you want to do just like the one that was on, it was in a limited release, and it's on Hulu, and it's called A Girl and Her Monster. That
I don't
was
think I seen that one. My girl Hulu turned me off because we got the poor people Hulu. I can't do them commercials, man. I can't. She be watching Hulu. I'll be like, get this shit. Amazon lost me. I used to love Prime, And now they got like you gotta did you see have you seen the new Black Mirror?
No, not yet.
Oh, please let me
Okay.
know when you do.
Okay.
It's the episode with Rashida Jones is what we're talking about. Just I
Okay.
can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into Black Mirror, but yeah, I know. I was like, what's going on with Prime and these, you know, but
Bro, that's
also,
why
let
I
me say
fuck
this to
with
you,
Prime.
Prime. I have an add-on for PBS Kids because I, as a 38-year-old adult, still enjoy Arthur. There are episodes that I have not seen, and I am in. But when I go back and want to watch the old episodes, why don't y'all have everything available? I pay for a monthly subscription. I want to see
Look,
all the episodes of
go
Arthur.
just go watch that episode. When you got
Okay,
time, it's only an hour. Go watch that episode, please. Even though you might not be in the Black Mirror like that. Just watch the Rashida Jones episode for me, and then get back to me.
okay. Yeah, no, I like. I'm just saying, like, when you get the so when they play, I don't know how that goes on Hulu. Um, so is it like interruptions where they'll come in
And
on the
it's
movie?
bad. You know who does it so good, and I'm tired of niggas hating on it. Tubi commercial would be seamless. Fade to black commercial. Hulu be like middle of a conversation. God, like bro,
Ah, okay, okay,
Hulu trash. Like even they original movies, like they had the new Hellraiser, the new Predator, and like I can't watch them because I might as well put them on regular TV then, bro. Stop
but
playing
you
with
know
me, man.
what? Okay, so but maybe look into the bundle package with Hulu, Disney,
See,
and
that's the
ESPN,
thing. Like,
and
black
that's
families. Look, black families. I pay for YouTube TV. I pay for like HBO Max. Somebody else pay for Hulu. Somebody else
I
pay
get
for
it.
Disney Plus. So I ain't gonna tell them, hey man. But like my mom told me, like, hey man, she kept getting kicked off the YouTube TV because it's like only so many. I was like, I
Yeah,
just had to pay for the unlimited. Like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah,
I can't tell everybody else.
yeah.
Set your Hulu up.
We rotate amongst our circle too, and so it's just sometimes like randomly my TV will log me out of the YouTube TV. I don't I
Yeah,
like I said I use my best friends, and but I use my sister's Hulu, and it doesn't have commercials. But I canceled Disney Plus because I was like, why is Disney Plus like $25 now? And it
yeah.
was like something ridiculous. And I was like,
I
I'm
think I think we get. I don't know if it's the whole bundle, but I know we get something for free with T-Mobile, and that we get Peacock for free with my internet. So it's a few of those where beggars can't be choosers, but we stream so much, man. But like I
yeah,
said, them commercials. If it's got commercials, I'm over it. Like I just go to
yeah,
HBO Max now.
mhm,
Like I go to the Paramount. I love Paramount because they got all the Showtime movies and then all them good shows too. So
okay. I have to
like we
check
done
that
delved
out.
off into a whole streaming conversation.
I know. But look, we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody, please go out and support the great Michael Jordan because he got them guns. He raising hell up in there. Um, Ryan Coogler, you got one. Like this is the things that we want to see, and it's just so dope. And I can't wait to see what else he does next. Um, I don't even know. I know they talking about Black Panther 3. That's cool.
Yeah,
But I want to see what's in your original bag. Like this
yeah.
was just so. What is next?
But you know what though? Not to start up a whole other conversation, but what's name is so good. The fact that he was able to pivot with the death of Chadwick and that movie to still be so good, I knew that
Mhm.
he was actually good. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that might have crumbled, or we just got to replace someone. He took the whole story and made it work. Like that
yep,
was it wasn't as good as the first one to me, but the fact that he took those circumstances and still put out a really good product was something that he should have got a little more fanfare for.
yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But you know, uh, you might have to start giving your own reviews. You have to start your own YouTube page and get it, out
Look, they
there.
just say all I got is I got a minute takes on Instagram. That's all you got from you got. I ain't got your studio quite yet.
Listen. This is my MacBook and a mic. And then, like you said, your minute reviews might be your thing. Like this is this in a minute,
Look,
and hit your point. Like make your points, and then dial them
I'm
in, and then
out.
yep, and then that's it. And it's like, yeah, her really was on something in that minute. So thank you so much for coming. I hope y'all enjoyed this special episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations. And Herb, tell the people where they can connect with you. Maybe they want to
Instagram, baby.
have a dialogue.
Holla Talk 314 on everything, man. Holla at me. Any
Yes.
critiques on my critiques, let me know. Because that'd be my biggest thing. I love hearing what other people, what they think, how they feel, what they saw. Because perspective is everything. And I like when they meet.
Yeah. No, for sure. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. That's all I got for y'all. I'll see y'all back here next week.